Well, brand new data from the Labor Department shows producer prices rose slightly from May to June. The Producer Price Index, which measures inflation at the wholesale level, was up 1.1% last month. That's more than an 11% increase from this point a year ago, and the highest since the record-breaking 11.6% in March. So the stock market having a mixed response to the release of that report. The NASDAQ finishing up, S&P and Dow finishing down, but regaining some of the initial losses from the morning. So joining us now, NewsNation business contributor Lydia Moynihan. Lydia, thanks for being here. Explain what happened with the stock market today.
Well, that's the trillion-dollar question. Look, markets are still reacting to the CPI data yesterday that really came in hot, 9.1%, much more than investors had expected. Of course, anytime you see inflation surge, there's going to be an equal and opposite reaction from the Federal Reserve raising interest rates. Also news today, major banks, JPMorgan, Morgan Stanley, reporting earnings and announcing they missed their profits by about 30% year over year. So a few data points there that weren't too optimistic and weren't too bright. But yeah, at the end of the day, the Dow and the NASDAQ did pair their losses.
Well, let's stick with that. You know, the banks reporting their earnings down, not necessarily what was expected. How does that impact everyday Americans?
Yeah, well, I mean, everyone looks to the banks as sort of a bellwether for what's happening to the economy writ large. And Jamie Dimon, who runs JPMorgan, which is the biggest bank in America, has a very good sense, obviously, of how markets work. And so everyone was looking at not just what numbers JPMorgan was going to be reporting, but what kind of message they were going to be sending. And I just want to read this statement because it kind of encapsulates everything that clearly investors are thinking about the market right now. He said, geopolitical tension, high inflation, waning consumer confidence, uncertainty about high rates. He just goes on and on about all these uncertainties in the market and says, that's certainly going to have negative consequences on the economy down the road. An interesting other data point, Morgan Stanley, their investment banking revenue was halved year over year. So we're really just looking at the economy, and the market is slowing down, and it's a question of how much and when exactly we start to really feel the effect of that.
Yeah, certainly not good news there. All right, Lydia Moynihan, thank you for that. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.